Go.
Hi there. My name is Barbara Dickinson, and I'm the Executive Director of the Friends of Handley Regional Library. Welcome. I'm here with Sean Murphy from 1455, A Place for Writers. The Friends have been around since 1977, supporting the library, Handley Regional Library system through a variety of ways, any ways the Friends could think of. Raising money is one way through a book sale, but also the Friends have always been involved with programs, whether it was movies or musical performances, and always respect for the authors and finding a ways to have authors come into the library and talk about their work. So Sean, I'm wondering if you could tell a little bit about yourself and what 1455 is bringing to this community.
I would be happy to. So first off, it's great to see you, Barbara. We were just saying how in these uncertain times, technology it can giveth and taketh, but I think we all would agree that being able to interact in real time is good, and it's certainly good to see your face. So I am Sean Murphy, and I am the founder and executive director of 1455. We are a nonprofit that is dedicated to advancing the literary arts, and there's a few specific ways that we do this. We are currently working on renovating a property here in historic downtown Winchester with the goal of opening that up to be a year-round writers retreat, which when it's completed will serve up to 11 writers at a time, who all will have their own private space with their own bed, bath, and writing desk, and give them a focused period where they have time and space to create, but also interact and network with other writers, which those opportunities are scarce outside of academic circles. So there's a value add there as a dedicated writing retreat. But we also are very dedicated to providing as much free programming as we can. We have been doing this since 2018, and we have eagerly partnered with some people and organizations in and around the town, and even going as far out to DC. But we are based in Winchester. We have a monthly spoken word at the awesome Hideaway Cafe. As you know, we are delighted to partner with Handley Library for our monthly author series, where we bring in a different author every month for a reading and conversation. And last summer, we had our first annual literary festival, which we plan to do again this summer. Of course, current circumstances are complicating things, but I can say that for sure the plan is to hold this, although I think it's going to be a largely, if not entirely, virtual event.
Well, we've certainly enjoyed the monthly series that we've had so far, and I was just going to ask you how you look at continuing this, whether there'll be some virtual talks, discussions, because it's been well received, and I know a lot of people have really enjoyed meeting some of the new authors from our region who are new to the contemporary literature scene.
Yeah, I mean, so it's a pure joy for me to provide and help kind of facilitate that content. Because as most writers I think would attest, it is kind of a 1% proposition. There are the famous authors that have to turn down invitations, and most writers are always looking for an opportunity to get in front of potential readers and interact with an audience. So there are a myriad opportunities to do that, and working with Handley is a great avenue to explore. Of course, the last month or so has certainly kind of forced a lot of us, both in the nonprofit space and even in the business community, to kind of readjust our thinking, which is, at least in the short term, meant a lot of virtual programming. So I'm happy to say that we leaned into this situation, and while we had to cancel our April in-person event since the library is closed, I am going to have a Zoom conversation with Justin Aaron, a wonderful poet and friend. And we're going to have the opportunity, via Zoom, to have the similar type discussion, and he'll be able to read some poetry. And I think one of the silver linings that we're exploring, I think both speaking personally, but I think in terms of the broader community, artistically and otherwise, is just like this conversation, it's always good to connect, whether it's email or a phone call. But these platforms mean that you can and probably shouldn't try to approximate real interaction with human beings, because we all need that. But I think it would be the wrong answer to pull up stakes and say we'll see you once this is over with, because I think even once we return to kind of a semi-normal it'll probably be a gradual process. And there are aspects of these virtual opportunities that I think provide, more ability to communicate and build that community.
Right, to be able to talk and have a question in real time and see the person's face as they're answering is really a blessing, and Zoom's offering that. I'm new to Zoom after the last month, but it certainly has helped with my book club as well as conversations with good friends like you, Sean.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's technology. I've actually written a lot in my former life as a tech analyst.
Oh.
I spent a lot of time, thinking about and writing about kind of this intersection of technology and culture and entertainment. And certainly, no one would probably say they're spending not enough time on their portable devices. But at times like this, we can look at that silver lining and see how it enables us to approximate and in some ways, again, improve on the opportunity to connect. And so for an organization like mine, again, we have to assume that at some point we will resume our normally scheduled programming. But in the meantime, we absolutely should not only make do, but again, explore. Maybe there's ways to reach authors that couldn't come to Winchester on a monthly, to make a visit, and we can connect with authors maybe even on a more global level. So I'm excited about the opportunities, but also I think like most of us, I'm also eager to be able to see the beloved community in person sooner than later.
Right. So what else is going on with the 1455 side of your project here?
So the business and, so day to day, things haven't changed too much, because what I've been focused on, the last couple of years is establishing our nonprofit status. And we were very fortunate to find an ideal old historic property right in downtown Winchester. And we've been actively working to raise the funds and get the architecture plans so that we can renovate that. So as of right now, the buildings are still in a state of disrepair. They've got a lot of personality, but they're going to require some work. So we're able to do that, and the day-to-day of planning and moving forward with that continues. Where my head's been at the last month or so is hopefully trying to seamlessly adjust to this virtual reality, because I think not only can we have the literary festival in July, I think it's probably more important than ever. I think people already are making it clear that they're hungry for content. I think by July, people are going to be starving for some good original content. And it saddens me to see some wonderful festivals that were kind of caught in the crossfire this March, April, May time period that just had to cancel, understandably. I think we had enough advance notice that it would have been a shame if we weren't nimble enough to figure out ways to not only, again, make it work and the show must go on, but I think there's some neat ways to again, bring people into the festival that otherwise wouldn't have been able to get away and come to Winchester, although we encourage them to come visit this great town. And I think going forward, we're all learning as we go. I think looking forward next year and in subsequent years, there probably should be a virtual component to some of these events, because again, my twin goals for programming have been to make all of it free for people to attend, but also to be genuinely inclusive. And I think that means having a breadth and depth of programming that can speak to a lot of different interests, but also make it so that people that may not have the easiest time being there physically are able to take part. So, like I said at the outset, you can't approximate real human interaction, but I think that you can do some interesting things and make it bigger and better than deciding that it's not possible. I think with a little bit of courage and stubbornness, you can see it through.
Well, that's great. So I appreciate the time. If people have questions for you, how can they reach you electronically?
So I encourage everyone that's interested to visit our website. We're at 1455 litarts, litarts.org. And I am at Sean at 1455litarts.org. There's a ton of information at the website. We've got a lot of, in our blog section, we've archived a lot of the author events that we've done at Handley, which you will recall, a lot of other programs we've done. So we've already got a good archive of content that people can check out. It's all free, but a lot of information, including why we're called 1455. I'll leave it as a mystery for now, and you can go to the website and we talk
Sure.
all about that. But yeah, I would encourage anyone to reach out, and if you're interested in partnering with us or sponsoring us or being involved in any way, I'm always available and would love to chat with you.
Great. Thank you, Sean. And if anybody has questions for me, for the Friends of Handley Regional Library or the library itself, we have a Facebook page and we also have the website. So I encourage you to go there and try to connect with us and see how we can help you. And I am working on Jen Siegel's cookbook I bought when she was here. This is the time I can try some of those great recipes. So thanks so much, Sean, for your time.
Absolutely. Thank you, Barbara. Thank you on behalf of all the authors we've brought in for the work you and your team do. It would be a lot less enjoyable, a lot less fun and interesting without people like yourself that do so much good work for our community. So I sincerely thank you for being an amazing force for good in our community.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Sean.
All right. Talk to you soon.
Okay.
Bye.